Welcome to Secular Soup. Stay tuned for real talk about atheism, feminism, politics, parenting, and whatever the fuck else Amy and Amy want to talk about, because this is their show. And get ready for a whole lot of motherfucking profanity.
You want to hear a secret?
I won't tell anybody. Go ahead. If I sit next to you, I'm going to get gonorrhea. It's going to jump into me. Just two ladies hanging out.
Is it okay for me to make fun of his neck waddle if I make fun of my own neck waddle?
I'm not sure.
That's a real ethical conundrum.
Would you know if you were born a lizard person, or can you be like adopted into the...
I think you know.
We're such professionals.
We really are.
Buckle up, bitches. It's time to have some soup.
I'm Amy with a Y.
And I'm Amy with an I.
And we're just two blueberries floating in a bowl of tomato soup. And you are listening to, I believe, episode 45 of Weekly Therapy with Amy and Amy. Is that what we're...
Weekly Therapy.
This is just our private weekly therapy that we let people listen in on. So basically, count yourselves lucky that you're hearing this. I was going to tell you, my younger son, before I came down here, he's always so full of useful tips for recording. Mm-hmm. So I did a little voice recording that I was going to save and play for you with his suggestion on it. So give me a second here. I'm going to play this right into the microphone. Here we go.
This is just brilliant podcasting.
I suggest for you two to tell each other jokes.
So that's his brilliant suggestion.
That's cute.
I did not line up any jokes, but you know, if it happens, he thinks that's what would make this a better podcast because he knows better than everybody else. Also, update from last episode for all of the people that I'm sure have been sitting on pins and needles waiting to find out. It was definitely my ex-boyfriend at that Boy Scout meeting. You know this already, but yeah, a friend of mine, I was telling her about it, and she's brilliant. She's like, why haven't you gone to his wife's Facebook page to stalk for, you know, more recent pictures? And I'm like, why the hell didn't I think of that? So yeah, found a more recent photo, definitely him. But the good news is I did pull my son out of Boy Scouts.
Well.
Oh, no.
That's why you didn't recognize him, because he looked nothing like. She showed me the before and after picture, and it's like...
Yep. Well, even that before picture, that was a solid 10 years after we dated. So he had even started putting on some weight in that picture. Like when I dated him, he was this kind of scrappy, wiry guy. Yeah, he's not held up well with age. Neither have his beliefs, because I stalked his Facebook page for a hot minute, and wow, he is all in on Trump. Just disgusting. So dodged a bullet there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I had hoped maybe he'd evolve into a decent human being, but
Trump.
What are you going to do? Well, Trump is amazing. I was talking about my ex-boyfriend, but yeah, Trump is fantastic.
I mean, obviously, I'm sure he's amazing too if he likes Trump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's very knowledgeable. He posted very smart, logical things about why being a conservative is great, as they all do.
Best words.
Yeah. So tonight we were going to talk about romantic comedies and why they're the worst. I'm going with worst. What do you think? Best or worst?
Wow, we're already going to fight.
Please don't tell me that you love romantic comedies, because we're going to have to end the podcast if that's the case.
Okay,
I'll wait for your reply.
Real life reply. I absolutely. Okay, it's hit or miss. I like romantic comedies that are like mostly comedies, like She's Out of My League. Or Zoolander, you know, things that have like...
I love Zoolander.
Exactly, but there's romance in there.
Well, yeah, but that's not the whole point.
Like
it's supposed to be a comedy.
Pitch Perfect.
Mean Girls is good.
You know...
I think we're talking about two different things. Like, to me, a romantic comedy is...
makes me throw up all the time.
But that's not a comedy either. That's just romantic, and I hate that too. But like rom-com, I'm talking about like You've Got Mail or anything from the 90s that's like Jennifer Aniston or...
The one where it's Meg Ryan and she's stalking her ex and she's like with binoculars and stuff. That movie's pretty damn funny. I can't even remember what it is. One. It's Matthew Broderick, I believe. And I liked quirky Meg Ryan of that time period. But I did not like You Got Mail.
Yeah, You Got Mail was terrible.
I didn't like Sleepless in Seattle necessarily.
Yeah, I hated that.
Things like that.
Made to Order was one. J-Lo did a lot of them.
Made to Order.
Made in Manhattan. No, Made to Order, I think, was from. I'm.
And I loved. That's Ali Sheedy, and I freaking love Made to Order.
Yes, that one's okay. It's Made in Manhattan that I'm thinking about.
Right. No, and there was that one where she's the wedding planner. That one's Ite.
I think it was just called The Wedding Planner. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That one was Ite. It was okay. That was okay.
Yeah.
I can watch it if I'm bored. But no, I'm not a fan of, I'm not going to seek out a romantic comedy and watch it because.
No.
But I was going to take the hard stance of it creates realistic expectations for relationships.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So I don't watch them because I don't like reality.
Yeah, here's the weird thing. So I'm a chick, right? And I'm married to a dude. Right. And he likes romantic comedies. Like, he will seek them out and watch them.
Oh, that's
and I
really
fucking hate them. And he gets upset because I'm a chick and I should like them. And it should be something we can both enjoy, like a good romantic comedy. But no, I fucking hate that shit. I have any number of female friends who like them. And I'm like, go hang out with one of them. I got lots of great friends. Go see a chick flick with them. I don't have any interest. I used to not mind them. But the older I get, the saltier I get. I don't think so. I think you want it. Okay. True confession. I've never seen Magic Mike. I've heard about it.
The second one is real good.
I've never seen either one of them because, guy strippers just don't do much for me.
I mean, I guess the first one was more about stripping. The second one was just funny. It was like campy and making fun of itself. And that one was real fun.
Oh. Yeah,
I enjoyed that. Yeah, it was just
what I hate
fun.
Oh god, I was going to say what I genuinely hate about rom-coms for real is they just give people a fucked up idea of what a healthy relationship is. Like, there's so much stalking that goes on in them, and so much like perpetuating the whole friend zone thing. And
you're taking the stance of stalking is bad.
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and take the stance that stalking is not good. And that here's another controversial stance. We may get hate mail about this one, but I'm going to stand behind this. I think that if somebody tells you that they are not interested in a relationship with you, that you should respect that. And not fucking hound them for the rest of their life because you're
literally
convinced.
Never heard anyone make that stance or make that.
I know. I make all the bold assertions. That's why I'm kind of a thinker and an influencer, because I come up with these radical points of view. I actually think it's not cool to keep chasing somebody after they've shown little to zero, just no interest in you. But you're like, but I know they could love me if I just tried harder. And so you stalk them. And I just don't think that's cool. I mean, maybe I'm out of the mainstream.
Yeah.
But
I mean, maybe
even if you're cute like Meg Ryan, or, cute like Tom Hanks or whatever, I think that's a bad way to approach a relationship.
It's got the ick factor for sure.
Yeah.
Like that's not, to me,
it sets up the idea that anybody that you love can love you back if you just try hard enough, if you just keep being persistent, if you just keep staying in their life and be persistent and funny and do funny things and buy them gifts, that eventually they will love you. And that is just not the case. And it's really, really creepy. And it normalizes that kind of behavior. Like, if somebody has said they're not interested, they're not fucking interested. Leave them alone.
Well, yeah, it's that whole, they just, I can't even think about it. I can't even.
Like the boombox.
The persistent.
Yeah, the persistent thing. The boombox at the end of that one, Say Anything. I used to think that was cute and romantic, but the older I get and I look back on it, it's like, is it though?
That was not as atrocious as, I'm going to keep asking you out every day until you love me.
Yeah, no, that's not cool. Don't do that, people. Don't, especially men. I'm going to talk to men here because we all know who seems to be more guilty of this. It's typically men who think that they can win over a woman if they do X, Y, or Z. And it's the constant bitching about the friend zone and how you've been friend zoned. And it's a challenge to get her to go out with you or to like you. And that's just, in real life, that can take an ugly turn really fast. So
yeah. And this is something I had a conversation with my friend about today. If you have to try to convince someone to like you, or if you have to beg in any way for attention, that's not a healthy relationship. It's just not.
No.
It's not good.
No.
At all.
No. You like someone or you don't. Like, it's,
right.
To me, there's not a whole lot you can do to get someone, you know, you can be a good person and you can be in a healthy relationship and you can do things for your partner and all of that is good. But I guess what I'm saying is if somebody just fundamentally isn't attracted to you, no amount of you doing shit is going to change that. You may wear them down and be persistent enough that they'll be like, okay, fine, I'll go out with you.
Show
But that
them
doesn't mean they're enjoying it.
3 years if it's still with them.
Yeah. And women especially are so conditioned to worry about men's feelings and protect their feelings that we do shit like that. Go out with people we don't necessarily want to because we don't want to hurt their feelings and
not tell them to stop or.
Yeah. Like rom-coms just kind of perpetuate that that's okay, that we should worry about men's feelings more. I remember like the minute, because I used to enjoy rom-coms as much as anybody else, but I remember the minute that they started to piss me off was when The Breakup came out. Do you remember? That was Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn, yeah. I watched it. I saw it, yeah.
What made me so angry about it was my husband and I were watching it. You know, I think this is still in the day of DVD. I could be wrong, but we probably rented the DVD and we were watching it. And there's this moment, spoiler alert, in the movie where Jennifer Aniston is all upset because she's trying to put this dinner together because her parents are coming over or something. And Vince Vaughn is sitting his ass on the couch playing video games like a man. And not helping. And like she's doing everything and he's not noticing that she needs help. And he's just like, if you want me to do something, tell me. And she's just doing the thing where she's not, you know, specifically saying do this, this, and this, but she's like, just come help. You can see that I need help. And she says something about the dishes and he's like, what, you want me to do the dishes? Just ask me to do the dishes. And she says, no, I want you to want to do the dishes. And my husband cracked up laughing so hard. He thought that was hilarious. And I just got angry because I'm like, in the moment she said that, I knew exactly what she was saying. You know, what she was saying was, I want you to want to help me. I don't want to have, you know.
I don't want to have to ask for help when it should be apparent that I need help.
Vince Vaughn laughs too. And that's why they have a big fight because he laughs and then she gets angry. And so my husband's laughing and I'm like, that's not funny. And he's like, that's hilarious. Why would anyone want to do the dishes? That's just like, nobody wants to do the dishes. And I'm like, but that's not the point she's making. The point she's making is that she wants help without having to ask him, and she wants him to notice what's going on.
I actually did like that movie overall.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst.
My ex-husband hated it.
Really?
Yeah, we saw it in the theater, I think. It was our good date night because I picked the movie, and he like went off on a rant the whole way home. He hated it so much because she was such a bitch and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I liked it. I thought it was fine.
I didn't mind the movie itself. It was totally watchable.
But
I thought there was a lot in there that like I identified with a lot of the things she was saying about him being just.
That's probably why he didn't like it because he probably saw.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. And I'm sure for my husband, it was more like he didn't see himself in that stuff. He didn't see. And I did see some of that, you know, like. Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty standard.
Yeah.
Pretty standard stuff.
It is pretty standard. And at least that was one movie that was kind of realistic in how it depicts a relationship and some of the struggles that happen. And but overall, rom-coms are just, they're just bad writing to begin with. They're not creative. It's always
especially
the same.
The coming of age ones.
Yeah.
Like the teen ones.
It's always.
Those are real hard.
Two people that just hate each other. Oh, they hate each other so much, but something's going to happen.
The nerdy girl.
Oh,
No
yeah.
one looks
Who's so
at
nerdy
her.
because she wears glasses.
Yeah, she's the nerdy girl who's smart, and the boys don't pay attention to her. And then somehow she gets a makeover. She puts on a short dress. Suddenly she's hot.
Yeah. And then she's worthy of male attention if she puts on the short dress, and then she's cool. Then we learn that it's okay that she's smart because she's also pretty.
Right. Okay. Well, we're gonna lose some listeners here. Can we talk about Pretty in Pink?
I love Pretty in Pink, but I haven't gone back and re-examined
parts
it
of Pretty in Pink. Like I like the video store.
Ducky.
I like
Everybody
Ducky.
loves Ducky.
Everybody loves Ducky. But okay, why? I just don't understand. She's like chasing him, and it's just not. It's the same thing with 16 Candles. She's always chasing the guy that's the cooler guy. And they never outright say Ducky's gay. If he's straight, why the fuck doesn't she end up with Ducky?
Because she's just not attracted to Ducky. She's attracted to the hot guy.
He's adorable. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's toxic masculinity. There's all kinds of stuff. There's like, it bothers me. Every time I see the end, I'm like, okay, and then stop. She's with Ducky and we're done. Like, end of movie.
You want to give Ducky a happy ending.
I wanted to give Ducky a happy ending.
See, but part of me feels like that too is an example of like the whole friend zone. Like we should feel bad for him because he's stuck in the friend zone. And it's
I didn't feel bad for him. I thought she was being a bitch. Well, yeah, but I thought she was, because this guy has like ignored her forever. And then suddenly she's good enough for him or whatever. And I know Molly Ringwald was the queen of those kind of movies, but it was just like, come on.
Yeah. 16 Candles is a classic only because that when I was coming of age, my best friend and I would watch that constantly. So for me, it's got this kind of, special little spot in my brain. But again, I haven't gone back to re-examine anything in it. And if I did, I would be appalled. So I kind of don't want to because I know there's some terrible racism and all kinds of sexism. And I don't.
For sure.
Oh,
like,
and
good.
the stealing the underwear, the underpants in the bathroom, and
right. And he's just not a great guy. He's just not a good guy.
No. And then there's the, having sex with the girl because she's drunk and unconscious, and that's considered a win because the girl's too drunk to consent. So her boyfriend's like, here you go, just have at her. She's too drunk. And it's so funny and cute because he got to sleep with her and she didn't like, ugh.
Oh, it's real gross.
No, that's not cool.
Yeah, it's not okay.
But I mean, that's the thing. These movies like reinforce these things that we don't even think about. Like we just kind of grow up thinking that's normal, right?
You know what's a good rom-com is Fried Green Tomatoes. Is that a rom-com?
That's not a rom-com. That's a drama.
Okay. Well, I really like the barbecue recipe. And
I haven't seen that one in so long.
Oh. We have to go back and watch that one because that one's a great one.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna. I mean, I could, but I'm just not into movies lately. I don't know. It's all about TV shows. There's so much good TV now that
I haven't done either for a while.
Yeah,
I finished Ozark. That was good. And
I love Poldark.
No, not Poldark. Ozark.
Ozark. Oh, not Poldark. Ozark.
Not
okay.
Poldark. Ozark. Yeah.
I like both Ozark and Poldark.
Well, Poldark. I saw the first season. I need to go back. I need to start the second season because that guy is
There's 4 seasons now. He's smoking hot.
Man, he's smoking hot. I don't even care what the story's about.
I mean, it's a good story, but you're mostly watching it. I was watching the last season, the most recent season, and I feel like they should call the show Hot Guy Broods on Horse Over a Cliff, because pretty much the whole show is just him on a horse riding back and forth,
standing there with his hair blowing brooding in the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Jon Snow, just constant brooding.
You're like, I don't even know what's going on with you, Jon
It's
Snow.
Adorable. I love watching him brood. I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know why he does so much of it. I don't know why he's standing by cliffs at all times thinking about things. Or
where do you go to think?
I mean, I'm in Minnesota, so we don't have cliffs, to be fair. We don't
either, actually.
Yeah, so I do most of my brooding, I would say probably on the deck outside of my house. I don't know. In my car, I do a lot of car brooding.
Well, my answer was going to be worse than that, so I'll just leave it at that.
Do you do your brooding in bed with Donald Trump? Is that?
I was going to say, it was like, I don't know. I do all my heavy thinking in the bathroom.
Well, that goes without saying. I mean,
yeah.
That's just how we all do things. So yeah,
I have my
rom-coms,
serious conversations with myself.
That's what rom-coms should be about. Just spending 75% of the day in the bathroom. And
well, yeah, it should be realistic. Like, it needs to be more realistic about relationships. It's like, are you going to shut the door or not? Like, are you freaking kidding me with that?
Yeah.
So,
or just the stupid text messages you get.
Like from the bathroom or...
Well, obviously.
Or
from a cliff where you're brooding. You're brooding.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. It's the broody text. My favorite is when you get sent a meme from like the other side of the couch and then you look up and they're like, hey, 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 hey. You're like, really?
Yeah, we text each other if we're on different floors of the house. We only have two. We have a basement and a main floor, but I'm not going to walk all the fucking way up there just to say something. It's ridiculous. That's what text messages are for. So
yeah, we text each other all the time, like nonstop. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we mostly do texting instead of talking because it's just easier. And then, it's been 17 years.
For a long time. Yeah.
Then we don't have to listen to each other's annoying voices. It makes marriage, it's what keeps our marriage together, I think. I mean, so yeah, I don't know what else to say about rom-coms other than that they're terrible and I'm old and bitter now and hate them all. So I don't know. I don't
hate them, but I'm just they're not my favorite. I'm not going to seek them out. I would rather watch like just a ridiculous comedy than a rom-com.
Yeah, I'd rather watch a really dark drama because I'm not a fun person. So I like to spend all my time right on the cusp of depression. And, sad dramas do that for me. And I prefer it if my drama takes place at least before 1900. So.
Right.
Yeah, I've been rewatching The Nick. I got a free 7-day Cinemax thing through Amazon because I'm like, I need to re-binge The Nick. So I can get it free for 7 days. I can get this whole binge done in 1 week and then I can just cancel it, not have to pay for it. So
I've never seen it.
The Nick is dark. It's a hospital drama from 1900.
Mm-hmm. I think I started it once.
Yeah, it gets hard to watch, especially when you're like I am going through a depressive funk, because when you're already kind of depressed and then you start watching something like that where, it takes place in a time where life was just terrible and you start just ruminating on how terrible life is and was. And you think I should really stop watching this and give myself a break for like a day and watch something funny so that I'm.
Yeah, my life's real hard right now. So I just don't, I can't.
Yeah, I keep thinking
hard.
I keep thinking that because I like that kind of show. So I'm like, maybe if I watch it, it'll trigger the happy part of my brain. But nothing seems to do that anymore. So
probably how it works. Or how
you don't think so? I feel
Most
like
likely not.
There was a happy part of my brain and now it's been excised somehow. Maybe by one of the doctors from The Nick because there is a scene where they do that. So
yikes.
It's real gross. Yeah. That show is disgusting. Just be forewarned. It's good. If anybody's going to watch it, it's very good. Very disgusting. I started
The Haunting of Hill House, but
I don't like horror stuff.
So I'm like not in a great brain space right now. Well, okay. I'm fine. I'm just.
You're safe.
There's just so much going on in my life right now. So much stress, so many just high pressure decisions and big things going on. And it's a lot. And I started watching it the other night and I turned to Gentleman Caller. I was like, I can't, like the first jump scare. I was like, I need to turn on like It's Always Sunny or something. Cause I can't.
Yeah. Cause you don't want to put your brain through more than what it's already having to go through.
Right. Yeah. And we were talking about watching it tonight, maybe after we record, maybe. And he was like, we'll make sure that we turn the lights off and just have flickering candles everywhere and just, he was just joking. But I'm in a better place today than I was yesterday or the day before, but it's just...
I've kind of been the same way. Like I was really having a rough time. And then I went through like 2 days where it was like, okay, I'm starting to feel a little more like myself. Like I can get through the day. Okay. And then the next day it was like, fuck, now it's one of those, it happens every fall to me. Situations.
Like it feels like everything's falling apart right now. Like my car battery died and I'm having like behavioral issues with some of my kids. And my microwave just randomly started going off. Like it would start a 1 minute cooking time when it was empty. Like I was across the room and then it would just stop and then it would start up again and then it would stop and then it would start up again. And so my gentleman friend unplugged it and then plugged it back in and he took it apart and then it said it had a keypad error. And so now I don't have a microwave. And I live on nachos. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Are you sure your house isn't haunted?
It might be. But he was like, you can make nachos in the oven, which sounds like a barbaric situation.
That takes way too much time. When you want nachos, you need them now. You don't want
them right fucking now.
Go through this whole dog and pony show to put them in the oven. Fuck that.
Right. I have
the whole point of a microwave
soup in the fridge. What? So what am I going to do? Like, it's homemade soup. I made meatball soup the other day. Then what am I going to do? Like heat it up on the stovetop like an animal? This is ridiculous. So, I mean,
we don't live like animals.
There's just a lot of things going on. I found out some other things about my ex and like all this stuff. And like, it's a lot. And so I'm just like, my brain is just not. But yesterday, good news so I got that job, that new big girl job that starts in a couple of weeks. I took my employee badge photo yesterday and signed all of the paperwork. I signed the contract and all the paperwork and all of my, like tax forms and direct deposit stuff and all that stuff. So I am official. I just don't start until November. So it is very exciting.
Yeah.
And I will no longer be doing whatever I'm doing right now. So
mine's the same where it's like every fall. And a lot of it, I think, is just the fucking weather here because
seasonal.
It's the seasonal affective disorder. SAD, yep. Which I've never been officially diagnosed with, but I think 75% of Minnesotans just have it. And
it makes sense.
I have a light, like a mood light thing that I use in the winter, but so that always happens in the fall. But then, it's the same thing where there's just like everything that could go wrong in life is just kind of all going wrong at the same time. Like, could we just get a break for 10 minutes? But no, every fucking day something new happens that's just like, I
was crying on Gentleman Caller's shoulder the other day for like a good 3 hours. And because it was just like everything happened at once. Like all the things happened at once. And I was like, everything's falling apart. And he was like, "Aw, I mean, it's not, but
but it feels like it."
There. Right. Yeah, it does. Yeah. It feels like it.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's all, no, it literally does all fall on me. So it's just exhausting. It's.
Yeah. And you get to a point where like your brain just can't do anything, can't take on anything else. Like I get to a point where I'm like, I can't talk to anybody. I can't do anything productive. I just can't. I need to just sit here and veg because my brain, I can't make any decisions. I just can't. I literally can't even. So I try to I feel bad because I'll just end up laying around doing nothing. And, my husband's great and, understands and knows that I deal with depression. And I just kind of when I'm really going through an episode, I'll just kind of tell him that's what's going on. And the other day, I just told him, I said, I'm just having a really hard time just doing anything. And he's like, yeah, I know, I noticed. And he's, he picks up the slack the best that he can and tries to manage the kids and do everything so I can just lay in the room and watch horrible things like The Nick and not have to have my brain on. But it's, I see my psychiatrist in, I think 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm kind of waiting because I'm really hoping I don't have to change my meds again because I've been on all the meds at this point and I don't know if there's any options left. So I'm hoping I just kind of come out of this and the meds keep doing okay. But yeah, public service announcement, go see a psychiatrist, people. If you are having mental illness issues, it's very common. Go see one. If you can get your hands on some meds, do that because they do help. But yeah.
I really, really miss my Xanax.
I bet.
I don't have health insurance at the moment, and it was the only way I could sleep when my brain wouldn't stop. And
yeah,
I only needed it like once or twice a week, but just getting that, because once you're sleep deprived, you get into like a cycle of sleep deprivation and you're just too tired to fall asleep. Yeah. And it's just, and then my brain I start stressing about all the other things, and I start stressing about my stress. And then I start wondering what my stressing is doing to my health. And it just turns into this whole cycle. And yeah, so I miss my Xanax.
Yeah, that's what I have Ativan for. I've never taken Xanax, but I have an Ativan prescription for that purpose. I only ever take it at night, and it's when like everything from the day is just so, it's just too much. And like, I'm just so anxious because I can't stop thinking about all this shit. And it's kind of like, it just calms you down.
I start getting into sleep and a stress spiral. And luckily now I have a partner that is like really understanding and gets it. And so he'll come home from work sometimes and he'll see me, and I'll just be in the kitchen like cooking or cleaning or whatever, because I'm a woman and that's where I belong. Yeah.
Well, you're barefoot too, I hope.
Usually, yeah. Or sometimes I'm in fuzzy socks, because I have this obsession with fuzzy socks. Like every winter, or starting this time of year, Walgreens will have like those bins of fuzzy socks for $1, and I'll buy like 10 of them because
you don't have winter
freaking fuzzy socks. But now I have a kitten, and every time I put on fuzzy socks, he thinks my feet are just fair game to chew on. Yeah. And so it's like this whole, I wear them until he starts biting me, and then I'm like, it's over because it hurts.
Yeah.
And he's an asshole. But so he'll come home from work and he'll see me all stressing in the kitchen, and he'll be like, hey, just stop what you're doing. And he'll just take me into the bedroom. He'll just give me like a really big hug. And then it kind of like calms me down. And then I just come back out and I'm better. Like, it's not magical, or, I mean, it's not like a cure-all or whatever. It's just enough. Like that tight squeeze is just enough to kind of like, where before I would be like, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting like this? Yeah. What's going on? It's just.
My husband he can tell because I'll be laying in the guest room watching a TV show, and I know he knows I'm overwhelmed when he shuts the door to the room because he'll just shut the door and he'll be like, I can hear him out there being like, kids, just leave your mom alone. Mom needs alone time. And he just shuts the door so I don't have to deal with anything. And it's nice. But then I feel guilty because I feel like there should be a quota of days I'm allowed to do that. And then if it goes above that, then I feel like I'm just not contributing, or I'm not doing enough, or, it's just, depression sucks, man. It really sucks. It blows, and there's nothing else you can say about it.
I mean, anxiety's.
Yeah, they're both terrible. I mean, fortunately for me, the anxiety usually only kicks in, like I said, if it's been a really long day and I can't get my brain to shut off. Usually it's just your garden variety depression. So yeah.
Mine's just ADHD and anxiety. Just firing in my brain. So I had this friend way back. I mean, she's still my friend, but way back when I was in there was this other relationship I was in previously, and she told me, like, he was a lot of work. He was high maintenance. You remember this.
Yeah.
So she told me, she was like, I would tell her all these things, and she was like, there's something I have to tell you. Please don't be mad at me. And I was like, okay. You always brace yourself when someone starts something like that, because you just know they're going to say something about the person that you love, or, it's him and I against the world, or whatever. So, or he and I, let me correct my own grammar.
Them and I don't know.
Yeah. Gemini?
Gemini? Taurus? Jimmy?
Oh.
Words?
Words and I?
Things? Words? I don't know. So I'm just rambling
anyway,
now, so go ahead.
I know, it's fine. So she was like, this is something I need to tell you, and sorry. She's like my blunt friend. Well, one of them, because you are, and then I have a couple others, and basically all my friends are blunt bitches, and I love them.
Yeah.
So I say she's my blunt friend. That's like super inaccurate because, that's all of you. So yeah, she was like, there can only be one crazy person in every relationship. And I'm real sorry, honey, but it's you.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you saying? And then I thought about it for a while. I was like, no, she's right. Like, he is way too much work because I need that attention. That attention that I'm giving everybody else belongs to me. So, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's very weird being with a super calm person now because I'm like, I've always been in relationships with crazy people. So
yeah, I feel like my husband is
it makes perfect sense.
He's just more, I don't know how to say this without it sounding really terrible, but he's just kind of, he's very anxious, but he also just kind of goes with the flow. Like, he's got a routine, and sometimes it's annoying because he's got to stick to this kind of routine, but at the same time, he doesn't get really, like, he just, as long as life's kind of going the way it's supposed to, whatever. Like, he's not gonna.
My anxiety is more, I'm like fairly laid back about my anxiety most of the time, but it kind of builds. And I know this is going to sound real weird, but sometimes it's hormonally linked.
No.
Right? It's real weird. It's super uncommon.
Yeah, I don't think that's
like
normal.
I'll reach a point where it's just like, I can't take it anymore. And I'm just like so upset. I'm shaking and I'm freaking out about everything. And then the next day I start my period. It's real weird. Like, I don't know where I know you've never heard that before.
No, you should have a doctor look into that.
I'm going to talk to a male doctor because all doctors have to be male.
Right. Well,
I'm assuming
to know anything or to be
right.
Good doctors,
don't think they let females even walk in hospitals unless
they shouldn't.
In the back door and they're wearing a nurse's hat.
And they're mopping the floor. I mean,
gross.
Yeah.
Well, it's mopping the floor. I don't even know what that means. So yeah, that's, I went to the, so it's just real weird. It's always linked to some kind of thing and it just amps up, but it's like real calm. And then it's like raging rapids. And then it's like calm.
Yeah. I feel like they should like do a case study on you or something, because most of the time, I don't even know what hormones are. How does that work? I don't.
Well,
I'm totally dead inside, so I don't have emotions.
To my boyfriend the first time he experienced my emotions, and I have super high emotions because if we do like a callback to my pregnancies, my body reacts really weird to to hormones. Like they run really high. Like, I have just like crazy hormones. They're off the charts. And so once a month I kind of lose control. Like, I have them in like this tight controlled area and then they just kind of like wander everywhere. They just go crazy. And I apologized to him the first time. I'm like, I'm out of my damn mind because I can't remember things. I am like irritable and just normal stuff. Yeah. And he was like, you're fine. I was like, what are you talking about? I'm crazy. I'm a crazy person. And he was like, you are literally the calmest person I've ever dated on your period because you're not screaming at me. And I was like, why would I be yelling at you? And he was like, I have no idea why anyone would yell at me just because they're on their period. He was like, you're yelling at the dishes and you're yelling at the dog and you're yelling at, like, I don't yell at the dog. I'm just like, get out of my way. Like that, like, cause she just stands right on my feet all the time. But I'm just like, I'm like yelling, but I'm not yelling at him because why would I yell at him when he's the one that gives me the tight hugs? Like, why would I yell at my hug supplier? It makes no sense. And I was like, I told him that. I was like, why would I yell at you? And he was like, I don't know. Why have I been yelled at for the past like 20 years? I don't know either.
Yeah, it sounds like your hormones are kind of assholes. You should talk to them and see if they can just chill the fuck out a little bit.
I don't even know. I have had an ablation to stop my periods even. And I still have regularly scheduled, regular everything periods. So my hormones are so like, they're like, no, fuck you, medical science. And we do what we want, basically. Yeah. So,
well, hey, they got to be tough, strong, modern women, They're not going to put up with somebody else's timeline. I don't know.
Now I'm just imagining Dolly Parton in 9 to 5. They're like, working 9 to 5. Little hormones.
I know. I keep thinking, like, my face has been breaking out so badly. And I was thinking the other day, I'm like, why is it that you have to go through puberty and that sucks? And then you get like this small little window of time in your life where you don't have to worry as much about hormones and shit. And then like you're pregnant and then your body goes fucking crazy again. And you have such a small window to be like, quote unquote, normal before you hit the menopause. And then everything just goes to shit again. It's not fair. It's just not fair at all. You should do something about that.
I'm working on it.
I mean, it's like when my kids tell me everything in the whole world is not fair. And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
It's true. It's real true.
Nothing is fair. It's not fair that you didn't get a juice thing from the gas station because I'm not your personal attendant. I'm sorry.
Life's real sad. Like that's...
Yeah. My youngest thinks that I should, before work, drive into town to McDonald's to get him like a Egg McMuffin and then drive it back home for him and then go to work. Because that would just make his life a whole lot easier. So,
I mean, I won't tell you can make homemade Egg McMuffins.
I did. I made one. Well, I mean,
they're super easy. You just put them in the freezer. You make a bunch of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you just...
Sounds like more work than I'm willing to do. They also
do them in little muffin tins. They're super easy.
Well, they sell the Jimmy Dean ones that are ridiculously expensive and packed in sodium, and they're a total ripoff. But I buy them once in a while, and I forgot that I had some in the freezer.
Every now and then.
Yeah, my kid really likes the... Eggo now makes it's like a cinnamon toast waffle, kind of. Like it's shaped like bread and it's meant to kind of taste like cinnamon toast. And I figured out that my 8-year-old can get that out of the freezer himself. And then he puts it like in the microwave and then he just eats it with no syrup or butter. And it works out great. He thinks it's the best thing ever. And I don't have to make him breakfast. So... Yeah, my brother makes breakfast for his kids every day, and I just don't understand that. Like,
I do too.
But you're setting the bar too high. Like, if you never ever make breakfast, then if you do, it's a big deal. Mm-hmm.
My therapist straight up told me, this was years ago. This was pre-schmorse.
Yeah.
She was like, you are way too emotionally and physically available to your children.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, the emotionally thing, I'm not going to stop that because that's just who I am. But the physically part, I get it. Like, I completely understand where she's coming from.
Yeah, because there's a certain point at which your kids need to know that you're not just there for them and that they need to learn to
now I'm a single mom and I'm not available anymore. They're really pissed at me.
Yeah, because you set
there's
the bar
all kinds
too
of
high
tantrums. Yeah, I did this to me. Basically, I created little mini monsters and now they're like, wait, where's my food? Where's my clothes? Why is this not steamed with crisp steams? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, sorry.
Yeah, see,
but what's real funny is my ex is dealing with that too, because now he has to do all the shit himself.
Oh, yeah.
So, whatever.
Yeah, I just find that if you ignore your kids enough, then the once in a while that you do actually like sit down and play, dominoes with them, they think it's the greatest thing in the world. But then again, because then you did it that one time, they're going to be like, can we play dominoes again? And I fucking hate playing board games. I don't like dominoes. I had to go to the water park yesterday, Amy. The water park.
I know.
Oh,
that sounds terrible.
It's the fucking worst thing ever.
You're just in pee all the time.
Pretty much. And this is MEA weekend. I don't know if you guys have that, but it's teacher conferences, so there's no school Thursday or Friday.
I signed up for it next Friday.
Yeah, so
I have the kids that day.
Yeah, so my friend got she found out that she got a discounted hotel rate for a hotel in town because of the credit union she works at. So she got a really cheap hotel room. So she's like, come over and we'll go to the water park. And so it was nice. But yeah, every fucking person in the state, I think, was also at that hotel at the water park because it was packed. And yeah, it was all I wanted to do was sit in the hot tub the whole time. But then you look like a bad mom because your 8-year-old's running around with 300 strangers and there's probably a pedophile. And I mean, I'm pretty sure if he fell and cracked his head open, I'd figure it out eventually. There's plenty of other adults there that can keep him in check. Isn't that what the lifeguards are for? I just want to sit in a hot tub at all times.
They're paid to be your kids' friends, right?
Yeah, and they're babysitters and
Right. Like that's fair.
That's the whole thing.
All right. I don't have anything more to say
else.
about rom-coms.
No. Yeah, me neither.
No.
They suck. They're lame. Just come up with a good idea for a movie, someone. Come on.
Yeah, I like ones that have like a little bit of kind of twisted stuff.
Mm-hmm. But it's not
what's
really
that
a
Adam
rom-com.
Sandler movie? No, it's not. You're right.
Yeah, I do love 50 First Dates.
Ooh, yikes.
I mean, maybe I shouldn't, but I fucking love that movie. Yeah.
No, I mean, I liked it when I watched it too, but she has a brain injury.
I know. I can't. I just.
And can you imagine? I mean, it's kind of rapey a little bit, but
Yeah.
Okay, she had a brain injury and she woke up pregnant, like a lot.
Yeah, and woke up with children.
I mean,
Yeah. I know, but that's how insidious rom-coms are. They make it adorable, and you can't resist it because they make it so cute. And then you look back on it and go, "Wait a minute."
The best romantic movie ever. Well, there's a couple, but one of the best one ever is Punch Drunk Love with Adam Sandler.
I think I saw that. I don't remember.
Real
now. Weird.
It's kind of twisted. Like they sit there, they're like, "I love you so much, I want to eat your face off" and stuff like that. Like that's the kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's real life. That's more.
Yeah,
solid.
that's more up your alley. Eating faces.
Right.
I like to eat a good face. So
Exactly.
yeah, I don't know. 50 First Dates, I don't know what it was about, because I'm not a huge Adam Sandler fan at all. And I mean, Drew Barrymore, I can take or leave, but I don't know. It's just, maybe
okay.
it's the
I really
music in
liked-
it. I really liked the
Maybe.
fact that he worked at a zoo because I like the seals and they're adorable. I don't know. I'm a flawed human.
That's okay. I really liked, which one was that? There was Crazy Love or something like that. No, okay, I know what it is. The best one is A Lot Like Love. That one's good too.
I have
with
not seen
Ashton
that one either.
Kutcher and Amanda Peet, I think. They get together and then they're volatile and then they break up and then they get together and then they break up and then they get together and it's like really bad. But at the end they get back together. It's like, I know where this is going though, because I've seen it already.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna break up, but there's something about it that I just kind of love.
Yeah, I love Love Actually until I thought about that one more and went, oh, there's so many problems in that too. I just want to be able to enjoy something, but I just can't because
I love that movie.
I know I love it, but
that one's a great one.
Yeah.
The one, the guy that learns Portuguese, touches your heart.
Yeah,
and then he goes and proposes to her, and they've known each other for what, like 3 weeks, and they've never actually spoken. Like,
well, that's always a good idea, though. You got to jump in with both feet, and
that always ends real well.
It does.
Based on firsthand experience.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, when you, especially if you get engaged,
friends and family,
immediately. If it's like a weekend or anything under a month, you know that it's going to turn out well. Gotta catch them all. I don't think that's
no, it's not the same. That's what
okay. Well, we can.
I'm ready.
I still have pizza waiting for me that I haven't gotten to eat yet. So my kids probably fucking ate all of it, and I'm gonna starve. So I was going to go through the patrons, and we did get a message from a new patron. We got a new patron this week called Freethinker215, who sent us a delightful message that I wanted to read to everyone. So Freethinker215 says, hey, I just listened to episode 44 and didn't hear my shout out. What gives? I'll be giving you gals a whopping $1 a month, and all I ask for is a measly 3-second shout out. That money could be going to feed starving children in India or Africa, but instead is lining your already diamond-laced pockets. Damn bastards.
Diamond. Yeah.
If, however, you recorded the episode before I pledged my donation, then I take it all back. Have a nice day.
Which we had.
So we had recorded before that, but I love the diamond laced pockets because all of my pockets are laced with diamonds, and I don't know how they knew that. Especially good when it's cold weather
to shove your hand right into a big, bunch of diamonds.
It's comfortable and practical. you know, it works.
I
in
like
a lot
the jingling
of situations.
sound it makes when I walk because it shows everybody else their place in my life.
Yeah, well, and it shows people that you're a real class act. You know,
I'm
like
a
you don't just
classy-ass
have
bitch.
diamonds where people can see them. You line your pockets with them, and that's Donald Trump level classy. So thank you, Freethinker215. You are I'm not going to say you're our favorite new patron, because Ashley's our favorite. But
If your name is Rich, though, you know, you just shot up to the top of the list.
we can't tell if you're a rich or not. So you'll have to hit us up and tell us if you are, in fact, a rich, because that's going to make the
just
list even
saying.
longer. And then we're going to have to do more math.
Poor 72nd favorite Rich.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole. I'm starting to get so confused on my riches. So
I don't know. It's just, I love it. He sends messages. He's like, really?
yeah, I like to keep him on his toes.
Oh, but I always say it's you that says that, and you're the mean one. So
Well, I am the mean one. I think we've established
she told me
that.
to say it. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Rich, it's all her fault. I told you she's a catfish. She just likes to blame me for everything. So
You didn't
whatever.
tell him I'm a catfish. You told America that today.
Oh, that's true. Well, you are a catfish.
Well,
so.
Rich was there too. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, speaking of blaming people, this has nothing to do with anything, much like our whole podcast. But I found out recently that while I spent my entire youth blaming every bad thing I did on my best friend and her bad influence, she was doing the same thing with her mom. She was telling her mom that I was the bad influence and it was my idea to do everything. Because
That's really hilarious.
her mom came to my party that we have once a year, and she's like, I don't know how I had never, we've been friends since we were 12, but she's like, you always were just up to no good talking her into doing things. And I'm like, what?
You're like, really?
First of all, the truth is that it really was her, because she had older siblings and they had taught her how to party and how to hide things and how to be sneaky. I was the oldest. I didn't know how to do any of that. So I was following her lead. But she sold me out and told her parents it was all my fault. So you just can't trust anyone, which is, that's the whole point of that story. So. All right. Yep. Patrons. We love our patrons and we'll never sell them out to their parents unless another patron gives us more money to do so, in which case we will. You
guys really fight about it.
We forgot to do the Ask an Amy thing this week because frankly, we're both tired and it's Friday and we had recording problems. So we'll have to just do that next week.
Yeah. My computer did a factory reset when I was trying to record last time. It really sucked. I just had to download all of the programs again, like mumbling to myself, and it was real annoying.
Yeah. So we're really phoning it in.
So now it's Friday, which is,
Yeah.
Big date night. I have British sitcoms sitting there not being watched by me now.
Yeah, we got to hurry this shit up. So I just wanted to let people know our regular.
I still don't know how Red Dwarf
segment,
ends. I need to finish that shit.
I need to eat pizza. Okay. So if you would like to become a patron, which will help us do things like maybe get Amy a new laptop at some point in the future if we ever have enough money for that.
Something about diamonds and pockets sounds
more diamonds and more pockets because we already have tons of them, but
and all our clothes have pockets anyway.
Maybe we'll start an empire of women's clothing that all has good pockets. We could do that. We could have some startup money to do that. So with your donations, we can make that happen. So join us at patreon.com/secular soup. Our $1 a month patrons are By Any Means Podcast, Wendy, encyclopediadumbamerica.com, Jesse, who got his dick bowl this week, even though you don't get a dick bowl for only pledging at $1 a month, but he sweet talked me and I did it and he got his bowl and everything worked out fine. So don't tell the other $1 patrons.
Sweet talking ones.
I'm a pushover. We also have Ryan, the dumb
no one streets talks to me because they realize that it just doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm total pushover. Ryan, the Dumb All Over Podcast, Liz Satan. That's your new name, Liz, because I don't usually read last names, but you put right in there rhymes with Satan, so your new name is Liz Satan. We also have John, who I'm very proud of snagging into Patreon because he was never going to do Patreon and we guilted him into it. So,
well, he actually did it so he wouldn't have to mansplain how to
technology works.
Internet's something for us.
Yeah, I had asked him for some technological advice and he didn't want to have to mansplain it to me. So he's giving us money. Oh my God,
you're here. I'm a Patreon.
I wish everyone in my life would do that. Like it would make me so much money. And then, of course, Freethinker215, there's your double shout out for the week. We also have at the $2 level, Nathan Dickey, Kimberly, Rebecca, Andy, Verlaine, and Sarah, the double Sarahs. Thank you so much at $2. At $3, we have Unholier Than Thou. Again, they have a podcast that I'm not going to talk about because it's a terrible podcast that nobody should listen to. It rhymes with Schmamered Schmillis, and it's bad for your health.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Don't.
You're going to get Crohn's disease.
They are, yeah. $4 a month, we have Elvin Engineer and Dr. Dylan. Elvin Engineer did a delightful bitchcraft order, so I mailed her some things incorrectly. She ordered a mug and one of my little definitely not weed containers, and I sent her the wrong fucking mug. It's tired. I'm hungry. I sent her the wrong mug because I didn't look closely at the Etsy thing because I'm terrible and I'm going through a depressive funk. So she got 2 mugs for the price of one because the one I sent, I'm like, don't send it back. It's just going to be a hassle. So yeah, check out
I'm almost finished with all my pillows. Yay.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Dr. Dylan, Medical Detective, thank you. Also, we're hoping for that TV show based on your life story very soon. $5 a month, Marissa Alexa McCool, Amy's Boring Sister, Yesh, Jerry, and Alan. Love to all of you. At the $10 a month level, this is the personalized soup bowl level. So if you pledge it $10 a month, you will definitely get a dick bowl or a non-dick bowl, depending on how I feel. We have Larry Yellingman, who we are recording with next week with No Illusions. We are so excited.
I thought it was this Sunday.
No, it's on Tuesday.
Oh, I don't know my days.
Yeah.
Days of the week.
Have you looked at
These
calendars
are the days
lately?
of the week.
Tuesday is 2 days after Sunday, so
I'm just going to start on Sunday to prep.
that's a good idea.
Because I'm like 2 days more professional than you.
That's very, very true. I'm going to wing it like I always do and show up 5 minutes late and be like, what? Anyway.
You're like, what's up, bitches?
Yeah. No illusions. You can wait for us. We're way more important.
Yeah. I'm real excited about this one.
Me too. It's going to be awesome. And that actually should be our episode for next week because we're going to do a crossover. So assuming this week goes according to plan, next week you'll be listening to us with No Illusions.
With No Illusions. What?
And Larry Yelling Man, but also No Illusions. So yeah.
Larry's awesome.
We love you, Larry. So yeah, we've got Larry,
I've
Randall.
done his show bunches.
Yeah, Larry, Randall, Dwayne, Alice at the Ask and Tell Project, and our 12th favorite Rich. I'm going with 12.
Oh, you're generous.
I am. And our favorite patron, as always, Ashley, because she pledges at the $20 a month level, which still blows my goddamn mind. And she's amazing. So we love you, Ashley.
Yes.
That is all we have for this week. I need to eat pizza. You have shit to watch. And
I do.
Take us out.
All right, I will take us out. And that's all we've got for now. Thanks to our fabulous listeners who put up with us droning on week after week. If you enjoy our delightful bitchcraft, please like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and send us all of your monies on Patreon. You can find us on those platforms by using the Google machine. It's not hard. This week, your donations would go to diamond-crusted laptops. We're just going to merge all those things.
Nice.
Right? Fancy.
Classy.
I know. If you want to tell the world how awful this episode was, join our secret Soup Talk Facebook group. If you want to tell us to fuck off personally, you can send an email to secularsouppodcast@gmail.com. Please rate and review us on iTunes, Facebook, and wherever else you can review things like this. It will help us spread the soup gospel far and wide. And hey, tell your friends. As always, we'll leave you with the vocal stylings of Mr. Eli Bosnick.
Secular soup creed. Soup is the ultimate virtue. It's delicious, nutritious, patriarchy smashing, racism fighting, warm and fuzzy, human affirming, fun having, anti-theist, glitter throwing, tummy satisfying, pair of new shoes fulfilling, diversity seeking, happiness. Minestrone, beef and barley, chicken broth and split pea, gazpacho, tomato, clam chowder and potato, chicken noodle, beef noodle, egg drop and ramen cup, miso, gumbo, leek and pho. Grab a bowl and taste the magic. Slurp even this.
I finished Ozark. That was good. And,
Oh, I love Poldark.
no, not Poldark, Ozark.
What?
Ozark.
Poldark. Yeah.
No, Ozark.
Ozark. Oh, not Poldark.
Not
Ozark.
Poldark,
Okay.
Ozark. Yeah.
Ozark? Poldark? What?